professional space, I feel like, professionals have a responsibility to be not just behind the regulation, but up in front of it before, because regulation is not going to be caught up with the technology. Right?
Absolutely.
So how do you think about, the ethical way of handling it?
Absolutely. So when you say the word, so this is an important thing to say. When you say the word ethical, and I've learned this a lot over the last few years, ethics is a way of thinking, not just one ethical thing. One decision that's ethical in a small sense becomes not ethical when you look at it broadly, right? For example, what if you kept all AI under lock and key and you never released it openly? When someone could create that universal childhood education, you're saying, no, you're not allowed. That's unethical at scale. But in a micro decision, it might be very ethical to keep it closed for several reasons. So there's not a one way to answer that. Now, to your specific question, unfortunately, as an executive of a publicly traded company, I cannot answer how I think about that, because that is active litigation, right? Like, the world is trying to hash that out right now. That's why I wasn't joking when I said the courts. I mean, the courts will decide, and that's the real answer. That's why we live in a place, in a country that allows these very tough questions to be answered by juries, by judges, to decide who deserves the value derived from their creative work. And I'm proud of that, and I think that's the right answer to the question. Do I have a lot of personal thoughts about it? Of course I do, but that's unfortunately all I can say. I'm sorry. That's all right. You got it on tape. Thank you. Woo! I still have a job. I still have a job. Okay, I think you were up next.
Quick question. So you mentioned being transparent, being about ideas that you have. And then you mentioned trying to sell that idea to someone who's already doing it or would be interested. How do you actually do that? Like as a
Thank you for asking. I don't think I made that point clear. The point I was trying to make was, you don't sell an idea. That's not a thing. Like, I've never seen that in my entire life. But people think that. I don't know where that came from. And Jackie, she used to work with me at Meta a long time ago. She's run her own company. This is a boss right here. She's talked to a bunch of creative people, and I know she hears this all the time. I don't want the big companies taking my idea. And we're like, I don't ever remember hearing any executive in any room talking about taking somebody's idea. But what I think, to answer your question, how do you get big companies interested in acquiring your thing? You need to build a thing worthy of acquiring. It doesn't have to be massive and huge, but if you take that idea and put a little bit behind it and see that people are interested in it, then you can say, I have this thing. It's only been out for 6 months. 10,000 people have already shown interest. Are you interested in buying? Now we can have a conversation, because you showed me that there's traction to your idea. But unfortunately, ideas themselves are a dime a dozen. But the other side I was saying is that the gap between idea and execution is closing. What I meant by that is, I can go on ChatGPT right now or DALL-E, and I can